Hey guys, this is Mike. You may have just filled out one of the quizzes, and if so, you were brought here having to do with maybe taking antibiotics or some gut bacteria disruption. So here we go. This is what you're going to do if you're in that situation. So there's actually two products that you kind of need. First, before I tell you what they do, what they are, I want you to understand why you need them. Here's the two things that you can do to fix this. So the first is a product that is at Rachel's Tea. Is called GSE. It stands for grapefruit seed extract. And I always tell people, don't confuse that with grape seed extract. This is grapefruit, the big orange citrus. Grapefruit seed extract. And it comes in a bottle, I think it's about 2 ounces. It can last a family for a year. It's a great deal. It's inexpensive. What it does, part of this is my conjecture from experiments and talking to people, but essentially it affects the negative bacteria in your gut. It does not destroy everything in the way that an antibiotic does. In fact, my theory is that it basically affects anaerobic bacteria and leaves aerobic bacteria largely unchanged. It helps keep the bad bacteria away. It seems to allow our good bacteria to survive and thrive. Most of your anaerobic bacteria is found in the cecum, the first portion of the large intestine, and that's where we really have to keep things balanced, and that's what GSE seems to do best. In our family, we've taken it for over 20 years. We put 10 or 20 drops in any kind of a fruit juice. Citrus works best because it perfectly masks there can be a slight tanginess or even a little bitterness to the drops. Some people prefer to put it in a capsule, 10 or 20 drops in a capsule, and then take it like a pill. Anyway, that's all you do. We have people who take it every day. In our family, we take it when one of us is getting sick, feel something coming on, that first day where you feel a little weak or a little off. And it works great for that. It really does seem to rebalance, and it has a big effect if you're getting sick, and it shortens the duration, is the least we ever have it do. Sometimes you actually get away with something without getting it. So once your balance of intestinal flora gets out of whack, just becoming not sick anymore, getting over whatever the infection was and all that kind of thing, doesn't really fix the balance and now improperly messed up gut bacteria that we have. And so you do need to take a probiotic, especially if you've had a round of antibiotics in the last 5 or 10 years. The damage really lasts that long unless you start correcting it with probiotics. So one of the ways that you can tell if you have bacterial gut interruption, if you're kind of messed up down there, some people will bloat, some will have meal stagnation, your whole system starts moving more slowly. You have a musculature that moves material through you, that gets lethargic. People have issues with passing gas and burping, and it can even affect your inflammation and some other aspects of your daily health and how you feel, how well or how clear your mind is, and that type of thing. But when choosing a probiotic, there's a couple of critical things. In my opinion, about 99% of all the probiotics that you can buy, and I've personally paid $75 to $100 for a very small bottle of probiotics, and I couldn't tell any difference, and I was very disrupted at the time. And I later learned the reason for this is that probiotics are actually not very strong against stomach acid, and the reason for that is our bodies are not meant to be digesting with acid all the time. This is an evolved thing in a couple of modern industrial countries. Other places where they eat a simpler diet, simpler foods, old-fashioned style, a little closer to paleo or keto or caveman type stuff, they do not have these issues. So they're not running this acid through their gut all the time. The bacteria in the gut are not meant to survive this 3 or 4 or 5 times a day bath of acid. So at Rachel's Tea, the probiotic is, there are 10 different strains in the Pro 100, her best, top of the line, high count probiotic. And every single one of those strains is acid resistant. They're hard to find, they're more expensive to culture and put a product together, and then to get those 10 strains up to 100,000 IUs is amazing. And they survive the stomach acid, they survive the gut acid, and the store brands, the health food store brands that I've seen none of them are listed as acid resistant, so they don't survive. So in what I was doing when I bought that $75 or $100 bottle, I was paying that and getting no benefit whatsoever. This is a probiotic that actually works. So if you have any of this going on, if you've had antibiotics in the last few years, if you have disruption going on in your gut, pain, bloating, any symptoms from down there, you are disrupted. And the two solutions as far as my recommendations are GSE and Rachel's Pro 100s. The Pro 100 can be used, there's an alternate one for that for kids and people who are real sensitive to taste, a real tasty chewable that has the same acid resistant strains. Give those a try.